All right. So, okay, so she's live. So what I'll do is I'll go in here and then I will kick this on. I will kick that on.
You have interesting timing.
Who, me? Yeah, the same thing I did yesterday. There we go. Bam. All right. Here we go. Save changes. And there we go, boys. We are all connected. Failed to post Facebook here. Okay. Oh, okay. Boom. Let's go.
No, you won't. All right. So we just hang out. Is this how this works? I don't know what to do if I'm not talking.
No, we're live now, so I'm just gonna kick in the music and we're gonna be sexy just like we always are. What's up, folks? We're going live right now.
Do it live.
Come on.
Screw it. Do it live.
All right.
Hello, meatball misfits. That's funny.
Who said that?
Audrey. Audrey said that.
Audrey is the misfit of misfits. All right, here we go.
So that's because it's all YouTube right now because we have to manually add Facebook because there's a glitch in the stream.
We're already hot. We're
hot.
Yes,
we're hot. So Facebook's going to be a second behind though. Soon we'll see people on Facebook, hopefully.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the sexiest show on the planet. Let's get busy. We got shit to talk about. Come on.
Stuff to talk about.
Well, how's that, Russo?
What, HE double hockey sticks? Because I was going to say, who the hell is Mike Johnson? But then I was like, we're already saying Johnson in the phrase. We might as well say, who in the HE double hockey sticks is Michael Johnson? Michael, he was a sprinter, gold medalist. I see Facebook starting to work. What are you laughing at, Casey?
It's working. Just you and Michael Johnson versus Mike Johnson. You know how many people are named Michael Johnson?
That's a pretty unique name if you really think about it. It's pretty unique.
I prefer my Johnson. But anyways, do you know the two most common last names in this country? Which, by the way, I got correct. I got right. I got this right. Did I tell you on the show?
Hey, I'm sorry if I blew your ears out just now. I just realized that I nicked the volume button on my microphone earlier.
No, you're good. I didn't hear it. Casey, do you know the two most common names?
No.
And
last name.
Smith and Johnson.
Boom. There it is.
Are you serious?
It's the two. Smith number 1, Johnson number 2. I got it right too. You're not that special, Rocky. I mean, you're special, but you're not that special.
Yeah.
You know why Smith is?
Why is Smith?
Because it's a Mormon last name.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, I never thought about like when you hear Stucci or Russo, you're like, I know where those son of a bitches are from.
Do you think that there's ever been a parent with the last name Smith that has named their kid Locke and just been like, I know what he's going to be?
Dude, one of the guys I work with, his last name is Ho. H-O. He had a daughter just now, and he just named his daughter, dude. This is how he just moved here. You know, he's fresh, right? He named his daughter Ima.
No. God, I hope she's got a good sense of humor, or she ends up actually becoming a hooker. You know, it's interesting. The only time my personal page ever got a ding on regular Facebook, my business, whatever, true to say free all the time. There's a guy with the last name Ho, and he made a joke, and we were on the same side of the joke, and I said, "You're a funny hoe." 2 days in the slammer. That was his name. It was his name.
Dude, can I bring something up before we get into this?
No, moving on.
We're gonna. Wait, what was I just saying now? What was I going to say?
Sorry.
You're saying ho. So my Facebook account, I have I don't want to call it my main account. I'm shutting it down. Right. I'm going to shut it down because it's been 3 months. And you know, I got a serious question for you. I want to ask you guys this because we personally know within our circle some businesses that have gotten shut down that were pretty substantial. And I'll say one publicly right on the air. Spreely used to be all over Facebook. They had like 6 pages. Every single one of them was well over 1 million followers. Well over 1 million followers. They woke up one day, it was gone.
Really?
Where do we as a society Because you know what I'm starting to figure out is that this whole social media thing is now a weaponization against our Constitution because they're under the guise of a private corporation. So it's their rules, their regulations. They can do what they want. But now when you're a publicly traded company and you are publicly traded, but in the same breath, you have the dictatorial power at any given time to shut anybody off on that social media platform and bankrupt them. That's, I'm kind of pissed off right now at social media, and I'm sick of the forced behavior. I'm sick of the suppression of speech. And then the fact that we made Facebook what it is into a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Trillion.
And when I send an email for 3 months, I never had a response from a human. It's the same regurgitated bullshit every single time. So sooner or later, we as a population of people, and I will support everybody I disagree with too, because we all equally deserve to have our voices heard, and no private ass, punk ass corporation should ever have the dictatorial power over that.
Yeah, we're getting that prison bird out of you. You're getting gangster on us right there.
Oh, you feeling that shit?
Yeah. Well, to that note, welcome to our arguments. I mean, you've been in the same. We've talked about this for years, but that's 2020. That's. Oh, that was Kelly in an elevator. Different story for a different day.
Kelly farts in an elevator?
No, it never happened. You know what your sunglasses or your eyeglasses remind me of? I can't get into that, otherwise I'll be shot. It reminds me of Casey. Tell me if you feel this. It looked a little bit more angled when it was on the hat, but it looked like the eyes of the gremlin, the evil gremlin in Gremlins 2.
Dude, I see it.
Do you?
I absolutely. I'm a gremlin. I'm the meatball gremlin, bitches. What?
The memlin? The memlin.
Dude, I see it. Now I look like it. Now I'm going to think, bro, you just messed with my brain.
Yeah, it's weird. I couldn't stop looking at it. I just kept thinking, or maybe it wasn't the evil gremlin. It was the female gremlin. You know which one? The one with the lipstick. You know which one? I don't know. We'd have to find a picture of it. I think I see Casey kind of looking. He's like, maybe I'll look for the gremlin. So before we get into our political conversation, and by the way, about 4 hours ago, I really didn't know who Mike Lee was until I saw his picture. I love him.
Who?
Mike Lee?
Mike Johnson. Sorry, Mike Johnson.
Yeah. You love Johnsons and you just forget about it?
I didn't know who Mike Lee was either. No, I've done a lot of research, even though I can't remember his name, on the Johnson in the last 4 hours. Big fan. Anyways, so we haven't had a cleaning person come in a long time. I don't necessarily love spending the money on a cleaning lady or a cleaning person. You never hear it called cleaning person. It's always cleaning lady. I'm waiting for
Lisa. That was Lisa's business up north. She was complete packed book, dude. She did not have enough time in her week because she was such a good cleaner.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm going to tell you something. Having a cleaner, it spoils you in a lot of different ways that you're not familiar with, because I don't clean my toilet every week. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. When it becomes a regular thing, it's a spoil. In this case, it's been over a year since we had a professional cleaner come in. And then you take the 3 dogs that consistently have fur. You take Kelly, who is constantly in dirt. You take me, that's in dirt 1 out of every 30, whatever. I'm very little compared to her, but there's a lot of dirt, and I'm cluttered. She's got a lot of dirt. We've got dogs. This was not fun to do the pre-cleaning. This was days and days of pre-cleaning. And while our cleaning lady was going, I was cleaning with her because Kelly's been sick all night. I've been cleaning with the cleaning person 5 hours of the day.
Who's Pierre?
Poilievre?
Yeah,
Poilievre. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Says the conservative leader of Canada.
So can I let's jump into this, because I got a question. It's been kind of bouncing through my head. See, I didn't sleep last night, so you know what I did all day today? I laid on my bed.
Because that's what I did.
Oh, sorry, let me get that off. Why is it when any freaking time the mainstream media references anybody on the Republican side, they always had to throw the far? Have you ever, do they reference the psychotic son of a bitches on the left as far left? Like, the far left protesters are creating an insurrection again, 3rd time this week, $50 fine. I mean, do they ever call the left far left?
No. I mean, Fox does. Fox absolutely does. Actually, it was fun. I had Kendall Bailey. We did a pre-record for Blunt Force Discussion. Kendall _ in_Kentucky. So I had her on today. We talked a lot, and we actually talked about Fox a little bit. As much as we slam Fox, if lately, I think all of us are very upset about Tucker Carlson and what happened over there. But if there's someplace that if I watch, but I'll watch the CNNs, I'll watch Fox, I'll watch MSNBC. I watch Fox more than those other two, but I always like to put my pulse on what's out there. Fox isn't that bad in comparison. It's not a news page, but it's really not that bad.
Says the person that was going to vote for RFK.
Oh,
I never said I'm still not. I think all the propaganda against him is forced from the Republican side that is backed by pharma. I still don't think he's a terrible candidate. I'm standing by that. I don't think the way that they've slammed him for being anti-Second Amendment, the way they've slammed him for climate activism. I think he's had a great answer to all of it. So I am not over RFK.
It's great. You want reparations?
Can you find where he talks about reparations? He says there should be some kind of program for equality. I've said that's fine. If you want to do business loans in black communities, I actually think that's an actual progressive, not a progressive like politics, but a progressive from the perspective of creating change. That's a progressive thought.
From a legitimate legal standpoint, there's nobody oppressed in our country. People are only oppressed by pieces of shit.
Absolutely. I don't disagree.
Everybody. So why would we go do favors, or why would we even empower that to say that, you know what, there should be something? No, I have a problem with Daily Telegraph and black-owned businesses. I have a problem with that. And half my friends are black. And I'll say to them, I got a problem with that, because give me a white-owned business page once and see how the fuck the world responds to that.
Okay, I get it. I get it. But here's the deal. If you're going to give them something, if you're going to give the left something, to me, giving just reparations is ridiculous. Now, Casey, if you can find something where RFK actually said he wanted to give black people just cash money for being black, I'll have a severe thought. That's one of my stopping points. Now, with that said, if we're going to give something to continue, because affirmative action didn't work. Toss reparations on the table to screw Biden's left.
That kind of makes a little sense.
I don't get it. So explain that to me.
Toss the reparations out, because Biden and all of his psychotic Marxist son of a bitches that are in his office, they're all for the reparations. So if he tossed the reparations, RFK tossed them. That's what
he's saying. He tossed it on the table.
Oh,
I don't get it. Literally all I've seen is Republican pages talking about how all the different things RFK, including I saw the reparations, I saw all the different things, like the second he wants to take away our guns. And to me, that's propaganda from the right, because I have not seen that. I've seen him be a constitutionalist that has heavy leanings towards the environment. If his reparations belief is black-owned businesses, again, I know, Rocky, you're against that. And that's fair. I'm not for it, but if you're going to give something to me, that's like, look, we're going to give you the actual tools. If you earn it, if you go through the paperwork, if you go through here's the deal. What about, do you believe in school vouchers? Vouchers is it's predominantly there for the socioeconomic underprivileged, which would most help the black community.
Yeah. Did any of those people, did they feel any concern for me when I was in that fucking hospital spending thousands of dollars on copays so I can have my surgery? Did anybody who gets free shit come up and say, man, that really sucks, you have to pay for all your shit? No,
I get it, but you're diverting from the subject, though. I'm talking
about the hypocrisy in that argument, though. There's
a huge hypocrisy in any of the reparation arguments. But again, I'm also making this up because I don't know what RFK really said. All I see is what the Republicans are saying, that he's pro reparations. Find me the exact quote and not a parroting of something else. And again, like I said, I would be fine, I wouldn't be fine. If I were to compromise, it would have to be something that would advance black businesses, nothing else. What about, how did you feel about HBCUs getting extra funding under Trump?
I don't know what break
so
down.
Trump made a landmark decision to give a 10-year extra funding to historically black colleges, which was something that the black community loved. And it was essentially something that is to me a version of a more progressive reparations that is an absolutely ridiculously stupid. So all it was HBCUs had the opportunity for more scholarship ability funding.
I am against singling out any ethnicity for any reason to make them emotionally feel better. Because I know black men that have been in this country in the 50s and 60s, and they somehow swam through that real mess that we had, and they made shit, man, and they got it done. You look at our society right now, and you look at our children, and you look at our youth, and you look at the mentality and this leftist mentality, this Marxist mentality, this lazy ideology, spoiled ass Americans, right? We are giving people, like, look at our southern border. You know, you have an administration who just kind of wiggles the tampon a little bit and says, come to us. We'll take care of you. We'll give you everything for free. Oh, and then the black community, let me give you some reparations. So we'll let the Mexicans come in and we'll take care of them. Let's give the black community reparations. Let's give the Native Americans their own little land plot over here. And all you working class son of a bitches better get a second job. No, you know what, dude? I'm about real equality. I'm about real equality because we live in pseudo equality. We live in an equality where we make certain ethnicities feel like they're equal, and others, like white males, are pieces of shit last in line on everything.
Professor Bowser said it correct. The current schooling system and program curriculum is the single biggest cause of black and minority lack of success. I agree. And I mean, I just heard something earlier today about Baltimore that this is a statistic. I'm not going to name the show. I got it because I know some people hate this show. I learned that on the last episode. But 40% of Baltimore schools don't have a single person, not a single student proficient in testing at the state level of proficient, not a single student. And that's predominantly black high schools.
Dude, there was times where my son here in Crowley would go to school and they couldn't even get substitutes. So you know what they did with the students? And multiple times they put them in the gym. And they just sit in the gym all day because they can't find teachers.
Jeez.
And they're smoking weed in the gym. They're smoking weed behind bleachers right in the school. Nobody's doing nothing. That's our educational system. But they're going to blame the Republicans because these psychotic children aren't being parented correctly, and they're going to grow up to be psychopaths.
And by the way, I know how good Casey is at finding stuff. And the fact that he hasn't found it yet, go ahead, Casey.
The video that I had won't pull up anymore.
Oh.
And now what I'm reading, updates from the last 24 hours, people are saying it's on his campaign website. So that's what I'm going through.
All right. I think that it's a little bit pushed propaganda. Again, is RFK perfect? Absolutely not. Do I know if I'm going to vote for him? No, it's still very, very early. Do I like Trump more by the day? Yes. He's like that abusive, really hot ex-girlfriend. I don't know. I like to use ex-boyfriend because I don't want to make a reference to any of my ex-girlfriends to give them any credit because I'm with the most perfect person in the world. Don't hit me. Don't hit me.
So here's what his website, well, this is what the Post Millennial says about his website, and I'm going to go find it. It says communities, this is quote, communities that were specifically targeted for destruction need specifically targeted for repair. Kennedy's campaign website states for section titled racial healing, excuse me. It says that black owned, quotes, banks, businesses, hospitals, schools, and farms were targeted for destruction during the Jim Crow era, resulting in black people having no chance to build wealth. Quote, we must set federal dollars aside to rebuild black infrastructure, writes Kennedy.
What's black's infrastructure?
I think that's a pretty gray.
Yeah. What's black's infrastructure? Do they have areas? Do they have certain areas that is theirs? Yeah. And
well, I mean, Baltimore would be considered black infrastructure, I believe. Like some of the inner cities. I hate to say this. This is not remember, I'm not fully conservative. I'm not opposed to looking at downtrodden areas where there's shitty parents and people of predominantly black people that I would not be opposed to finding a way to rebuild those communities with limited but minimal federal help.
I'll say that.
What's that?
I'll say this. 100% if you had equal participation from those in that community playing their role and not just waiting for the freebie. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's why I think it's business based and not free money based. It's, can you generate a community? Because here's the deal. I love Chad Jackson. Chad Jackson is my dude, and he will talk all about how Jim Crow is kind of bullshit. The civil rights movement is bullshit. He'll talk all about how all of this was propagated in order to put black people into the system. He'll also say the way that it was put into the system is very unfair. It wasn't done the way we think it is, but essentially it was done this way to strip away black the black independence. So essentially to give them back their independence from a business standpoint. And you know what? Tax those like the ones that are given tax dollars, tax them in a different way. I am not opposed to any of that stuff. All right, what do we got here? Pull that background.
Yeah, Rocky, you want to fix the layout here real quick?
Yeah, what did I do?
No, I was sharing screen.
Oh, I see. I got you. I got what you're saying. There we go. Let me get it.
I'll bring it back up real quick.
I'm getting there.
And so this is where it's coming from: targeted community repair.
I just had a panic attack because I thought I screwed something up on my end when I seen the screen do that.
No, you're good.
All right. Targeted community repair. Communities that were specifically targeted for communities targeted for destruction.
I mean, you could look at the Tulsa. I mean, which again, there's gray area. You can look at Tulsa race riots. You could look at Black Wall Street. Again, they rebuild from that, and that was never covered. But that's a different story. That's a more of a nuanced argument. But I'm not going to fully disagree because the way
you're only one sentence in.
No, I already read the whole thing. So during Jim Crow, black banks, businesses, hospitals, schools, and farms were targeted for destruction. Racists knew that without these, the black community had no chance of building wealth. We must set federal dollars aside to rebuild black infrastructure. I have no problem with that sentence. Targeted community repair will be available to devastated communities across the country, not just black. The criteria will be around need, not skin color. This is a constitutional liberal. This is the original kind of Democrat ideology. However, because there are so many black communities in need, this program will channel significant resources toward the rebuilding of these most devastated of communities. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
You know,
that sentence does it for me. Right there. Racists knew without these, the black community had no chance of building wealth, and we must set federal dollars aside to rebuild black infrastructure.
The racists were the Democrats.
If skin color did not matter, why are we rebuilding black infrastructure?
That's what I was just going to say.
This is a politician's website, and that is exactly what this is.
Yep.
A politician playing the game. You're trying to justify it. That sentence negates everything in that next paragraph.
Are there any other countries debating reparations right now? Because the United States, man, we came up late in the game with racism because the racism, you know, has been around for, I don't know, we can roll the dice, maybe say 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Forever.
Has there any other countries that have a reparations situation, or they're catering to communities
there has been
putting effort into doing anything?
Was it New Zealand? I want to say New Zealand was one.
Right. And Sweden.
Germany.
Germany.
Why do I keep doing this brain fart stuff, man?
I think the Irish and the Italians got something in America. Here's the thing. It's not reparations when you use the word infrastructure. And this is also a campaign website. And that kind of verbiage, you have to have the support of the Democrat side, which is who he is. I don't have a problem. I think that there is a lot worse things that they have made the propaganda against him make it sound like he wants true reparations. That is not reparations. That is actually saying that I want to do something for the black community. And I know we're saying it's not equal, and I don't disagree with you guys in that. But if you're going to do something and you're going to talk about rebuilding infrastructure, I don't have a problem. That is the least of my issues.
You know, I would like them to also explain to the American people when it comes to low income housing, how they demographically come up with that. Because I remember when Obama when he was in office, in the city of Minneapolis and St. Paul, there's only very specific zones that have low income housing. And then the nice areas, you know, you cannot do it. Right. And then so Obama wanted to do this thing where he wanted to spread it out a little bit further. He kind of wanted to push the low income communities out of the cities where they're locked and push them out in the suburbs, maybe where there's some more opportunity. We should really question the fact on who makes those decisions, because we know the majority of low-income housing in inner city is going to be the black community. And if we know the black community is struggling, and then they don't have no fathers, and then they got the three strikes and you're outlaw, and now you have all these dads in prison, all these moms with 15 babies, and they're trying to figure out how to do shit, and they can't. Why are we demographically putting them into a box and then saying, figure it out, and then we'll reward you for your pain?
Yep. I mean, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I just, this whole started because we started with the RFK thing, and I think that they are painting a much worse light on him than he really is. That's it.
I think he's the more your standard of the center of the, like, my dad is the kind of RFK Democrat. Like, my dad will absolutely support things verbally and very loud on the Republican side because he don't care, but he is staunchly a Democrat, and that dude hates Trump.
He
Oh,
hates
my
Trump.
God, he hates Trump. I mean, like, veins coming out of his face. There's a rule. You don't even bring up his damn name, you know?
So somebody said maybe finally fix the water in Flint, Michigan. That's still an issue. And to me, that is literally what that sentence is saying. Because infrastructure includes not just financial, economic stuff. It includes predominantly Black communities that aren't getting guided by their local politicians correctly. And again, this is when the federal government, I do believe, has a role. You've got a bunch of corrupt Democrat leadership in these predominantly Black cities that nobody are doing. So you step in and you start to do something. And water is infrastructure.
It's predominantly Black. But water and the water situation with that situation was a mismanagement and somebody sitting on their damn hands and knowing that this shit was going on. I don't think
they weren't sitting on their hands, Rocky. They were collecting money that it was going to the wrong people. It's corruption. Yeah. It's typical corruption. And we talk about the school system. And I remember, this is where I've been corrected. I was like, we do need to give more money to these inner city schools. I found out that per student, these schools get double what some of the suburban areas do. It's just mismanaged because it's so friggin' corrupt. That's the problem. So again, like, I don't, circling back, this isn't reparations. This is infrastructure, which is, again, this is a campaign website that has very wide verbiage. And I think that it encompasses something that Democrats might be interested in. And some Republicans might be angry, but some might go, infrastructure, banks, we could talk.
Well, I'll be honest with you, brother. I would much rather, I don't give a shit where it is. I would much rather see that money being spent in the United States because I'm kind of getting tired of seeing the billions of dollars kind of getting shipped over to keep funding propaganda.
I mean, we've talked about that. Casey's talked about that specifically.
Yes. The bigger problem I have with this, guys, is you are saying you would support a politician playing these politician games, setting unreasonable expectations with their people because you are saying he's not going to deliver for what he's saying, what he put on his website.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I know. I think that he will want to deliver it. I don't think he'll necessarily be able to, but I think he'll want to.
This won't work. You know it can't work.
Infrastructure. How did Trump get HBCUs? An executive order on HBCUs? How did he get all that money there?
For him to do this, to set federal dollars aside to rebuild Black infrastructure.
How do you know?
You have to be able to put together. No, I think in this situation with what he's putting here, he is trying to buy votes, and that's all he's doing.
I disagree. I see that's the humanity behind RFK is something that I find different. And that's why I like him so much. I think that he would fight tooth and nail to get his beliefs in there. And honestly, I think he would be able to get something. These federal bills, unfortunately, are 742 pages of bull crap. And somewhere in there on a line item, like, for example, I'm learning that the bill for the money that we're trying to give to Israel and Ukraine right now, that there's like a large percentage of it is actually rebuilding our own stockpile in the event of if we have to go to war. So it's actually that's why Lockheed Martin and all these people are just railing in money right now. Lockheed Martin, Boeing, because technically these government spending bills that we say we're giving to other countries, it's actually also giving to ourselves to fortify our defenses in case we go to war. So there's a whole bunch of underground crap in every bill we see.
One company, $85 billion in profit for making weapons.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in war. That's why our government wants to keep us in war. Both sides of the aisle keeps us in a war. But the part that is ridiculous about this statement, and you keep saying to rebuild infrastructure, Joe Biden has spent $4.2 trillion on infrastructure. And have you seen any benefits from that yet?
Yeah, exactly. But I cannot in my right mind compare RFK to Joseph Bidenet.
I know, Robinette, but it has to go through the same people.
I get that. And this just became a macro conversation about how corrupt and broken our government is. I don't disagree that it's going to get screwed up. I'm saying his intentions are good. Can he lead from a good place? That's the question.
Okay. I don't like the way this is worded. If he wants to be able to say that we need to rebuild our infrastructure, especially in the communities that don't get a whole lot of attention, there is some things that have been not taken care of or handled. Sure, I want to hear that. But I also am really upset that our current government, that we have passed $4.2 trillion. What are you doing with that money? That's what it was supposed to do. Go back to rebuild schools, get rid of lead pipes, do all of those things. The lead pipes was also an issue in Flint, Michigan. But we're not doing that. You don't really see that money going anywhere.
So you would hope that the leader of the free world, the leader of our country, whether it's Trump, whether it's RFK, whether it's Vivek, whether it's DeSantis, you know that Joe Biden's not going to do it. But whoever it is, you would hope that whatever they start putting forward actually starts getting done. And it does help that the Speaker of the House is somebody that I think would be somebody that would help push that through. The more I've so let's get into Johnson. So I think it's ironic his name is Mike, and we like to talk about Big Mike and Johnson's. But anyways, totally a different subject. It's a dude. A little flippy floppy. Looks like a light switch in a dress. Okay. So anyways, this guy, did you actually catch his acceptance speech or whatever you want to call it?
I missed it all.
I'll send you a link. It's only about 15, 20 minutes long. That made me want that reinvigorated me to go, maybe I do want to run for office someday. I thought it was a great speech. I thought everything he said, like, he galvanized both sides till he started talking about the border. And then the left was like, we don't need to fortify the border. I'm like, wow, you're friggin' stupid. They were booing him. They were booing him for the border. Like, I heard that they booed him for the border. I'm like, did they really boo him for the border? No. They booed. They were like, nah, they moaned. I don't know if they
boo all you want.
Yeah, I mean, moan, boo, like, 1,000 people a day, like, can't fit them in major city. Like, how stupid is the left? Like, no, we need to get them through. How are we supposed to win an election without illegal votes? But no, his speech was absolutely phenomenal, Rocky. I strongly suggest you check out the 15.
I thought for sure that the left was going to go out for much more because he was speaking out against the election fraud. He was a big
and they have. So after that acceptance speech where he gave mad respect to Hakeem Jeffries, why I have no idea. He's got the bottom of the barrel respect, but he was funny. First off, he had some good jokes. It was clearly a quickly written speech. His wife wasn't even in attendance because it happened so fast. Again, I'm like, where did this guy, who is he? And I'm like, by face recognition, that's the only way I knew he was. But his speech was great, and he spoke very highly of Hakeem Jeffries. He said, we have opposite viewpoints, but I hope we come together. Talked about bipartisan, talked about unifying, talked about how bad of a place we are as Americans right now. We need to come together. And it was fascinating to me, and I thought it was great. And then Hakeem Jeffries, supposedly, I haven't seen the quote, but slammed him afterwards. And then I saw some lady on was it CNN or one of the shows, is a black congresswoman saying, are we forgetting? Let's not do the kumbaya right now. Let's not talk about how great this is. Let's not have that moment. Let's not forget that we have now put an election denier in the place of Speaker of the House. That was my angry black. That was Medea right there.
That's getting clipped. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to racist jail on that one.
You forgot one important statement.
I did not forget nothing. What did I forget?
Yes, you did. He stands with Israel, and his first bill he's going to pass in the House is support for Israel.
But he was against the spending in Ukraine. He went against that spending. Now, what kind of support is he signing?
Yeah,
he said it. That's his first thing, and I'm like, no. America doesn't have funding in 3 weeks, just under 3 weeks. We don't have funding. And we're going to go with Israel first?
Oh, we borrow money
from
China.
Our budget first?
China got our back, though. They'll give us the loans that we need.
That is what pisses me off about his speech out of any of it, is that. And then he closed it with like, oh, yeah, we're going to back Israel. And it's like, we got other things to deal with, sir. Like, everything else he has done, his voting record and other decisions, I I'm pretty on board with. I
what
really am.
when you have a society teaching people that nationalism and love for your country is racist, and then people start to believe that shit, and then we turn into a third world country.
You know, we slammed, I know, Casey, you and I slammed Getz a little bit for how long he was taking. Like, I liked it at first, but then I'm like, all right, bro. Getz is a huge fan of this guy. So, although the holdout, I think, looks really bad, I mean, Getz kind of got what he wanted. And personally, I would prefer Jim Jordan, but this guy's got a good young record. He's hated by the Democrats. He's hated by Romney. Romney made this statement. I don't know if you saw it. Romney came out and he goes, you know, I guess we got a new speaker. He does not have a ton of inexperience. It's apparently that's a new qualification in this government. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes. That's yes, you are right. And he's saying it is such a bad thing. Romney is the worst out of any of the Democrats, in my opinion. So the fact that he's so disliked, I like. The fact that he did not fully trust the election, I like. The fact that he gave a phenomenal speech, I like. The fact that he did not want to be he was not even putting his name out there. Like Danny says, Johnson is celebrating, not the approach I like to see on a job like this. I disagree. He didn't want it in the first place. Right. And then it came to, he's like, look, do I got to get the job done? He's like, he talked about it. This is a very prestigious place to be. He's got a great story. His father was a firefighter, and then his father passed away 3 days before he got elected. And he talked about how the moments are to. I think he understands how grandiose this opportunity is. So you can celebrate all day long. Celebrate, absolutely, because you're about to be in the biggest seat in the land. You are third in line for president right now, and God willing, somehow something takes. I'm not going to say it. 2 for the price of 1, and then we go to him. But regardless, I think that after I dove in and learned who he was and whatever with Israel, okay, I don't want to spend any more money on any other whatever. I'm actually pretty happy. So,
we'll save this for another show because there's going to be a lot that's going to come up by next Monday. But for some reason, dude, I'm keeping a more than usual eye on what's going on over in Israel. I don't mean to jump the subject, but you said Israel and it kind of brought some things up and triggered me. But next week, let's cover that at least for a segment on some of the escalations. There'll probably be a whole different scenario by Monday.
How are we doing a show on Monday, by the way?
Pre-record.
Okay. Pre-record.
I don't know how we're going to do that either, but we get shit done. I'll get KC if you're on the road doing your thing. I'll get KC and I'll be.
Well, I got to drive. Well, yeah, we'll see. You might have to have. You could have Casey. You could have a couple. I mean, we could have whatever.
We'll figure it out. We're too sexy just to not, it's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deb, I Googled, Johnson. Oh,
don't Google Johnson.
Don't Google Johnson.
Google Big Mike. Google Big Mike. That's what you need to Google.
Oh, Big Mike. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. This is my gigantic. It's time to actually go over some of the advertisements we have, Rocky. First off, the first thing I'll mention, since I'm wearing it while we're waiting for the codes to come up, we've got a Wake Not Woke store. I'm wearing our Not a Single One of Us Regrets Not Taking It t-shirt. Casey's wearing Taxation is Theft. We both got our Awake Not Woke hats on. So go to awakenotwokestore.com. Use Awake for 15. Do we have a specific code for the show? I forgot. I thought we did. Casey, I can't remember. We'll look at it. Rocky and Russo Experience has many affiliates that help us do what we do. CenturyH2O.com. This is the water filtration system I recommend everybody put in their house. I had Kendall Bailey on earlier. She is also one of the affiliates. One of the people got introduced through this whole thing. Use code Russo10 for 10% off. It's good water. Trust me. Magnesium, delicious. Next.
And of course, we have Verve sprays, man. I'll tell you something. I have them. I'm using the sleep spray tonight, man. 5 different sprays. It's cold season. Man cold. Death be upon us. You know what I'm saying? They have the multivitamin with zinc in it. Multivitamin spray with zinc in it. Just go to vervesprayvitamins.com. Use code R&R. Boom. What's up?
Go ahead and talk about your lovely pillows.
Really?
Yeah, talk about them.
Is it that kind of show?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I just realized the dogs are freaking out because lightning's just struck.
Yeah, we do have some storms here, folks. So if we get a little glitchy, but yeah, go to mypillow.com. Go to mypillow.com. Use code Meatball. They are doing a shit ton of fall and Christmas specials right now. Some things right now are up to 80% off or buy one, get one. Mypillow.com. Use code Meatball.
It's spice meatball. You get the meatball, you get the bed, you sleep on the bed, you sleep good. Rocky talks about last night. He did not sleep through the night. He actually did not sleep a wink. Had nothing to do with pillow, had to do with lack of third testicle. That's what it had to do with.
Okay, so I woke up screaming. I had a nightmare. But for some reason, when I woke up, my closet was freaking me it was freaking me out, dude. It was freaking me out. So I'm sitting there thinking all day, man, was it like a paranormal thing? Did I get attacked while I was sleeping from a ghost?
You said it was the closet that was freaking you out?
Yeah, I wouldn't even look in there, bro. I was getting such an uneasy feeling I'm looking at it right now, and it's really making me uncomfortable.
Well, bro, it's here. Okay, let's have a moment, Rocky. If you want to come out of the closet, you can do that. It's fine. We'll welcome it. As long as you're not indoctrinating children, if you feel the need.
Dude, I think we've already established that we don't like the smell of poop.
And that's why is that the only reason you're straight? What's his face? Isn't it the basketball player? They just came out and he said that he had slept with a couple men, but he wasn't gay. Who was it? Dwight.
Curious.
Dwight. Who was it?
Oh, a basketball player. So there are other basketball players.
Dwight Howard.
Like 2-foot penises, bro.
Well, first there was the denial of the sexual assault lawsuit. I saw something.
Yeah, that was Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard.
Yeah, Dwight Howard denies sexually assaulting a man in bombshell lawsuit. Claims it was consensual.
Dude, I know a little Asian guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's up in Minnesota. He's a Hmong guy. And he said that a big black woman, he was drunk at a party, and a big black woman picked him up and carried him upstairs and did him when he was passed out, and he was violated.
I mean, what's the Terry Crews was sexually assaulted.
Bro, when he told me that, I started laughing because I thought it was a joke.
It's not funny. Yeah,
he got all serious with me, man. He was violated. I was like, tell me more.
I'm trying to figure out. So Dwight Howard's now playing in the Japanese league. He's got the little ponytail now too. I don't know.
Russo, I found something about your boy to go back to the main topic. You want to fix the screen again, Rocky, real quick? This is what Mike Johnson tweeted back on February 24th, 2021. 3 biggest priorities when it comes to providing COVID-19 relief: getting school children back in school, getting workers back to work, getting vaccines into arms.
Look, so Vivek said the same damn thing.
I know, but we need answers. These are all things we have to have answers.
He's not running for president. He's literally, and again, you know that this is my biggest stat. Like, that is my biggest FU point. But it's like, there's a guy named John Burke, if you follow him on social media. Good dude. I like his stuff, but it's so tribal that you have to be lock, stock, and barrel. And again, a lot of these politicians either bought the Kool-Aid, were paid by the Kool-Aid. If you bought the Kool-Aid, it is what it is. I would love to hear his response now. But again, he's not running for an election from me. He is Speaker of the House, and I think he's under control of stuff. But there was John Burke said something about he said he had this statement about George Floyd too. He goes, after watching the video, George Floyd was clearly murdered, yada, yada, yada. And this is the guy that's, we're all celebrating. Bro, I might have even had a black square. I don't know what the hell I did the day after. I saw the initial videos and I was like, that's wrong. That's not okay. And then I learned about his toxicology. Like, he was looking, this was May 29th. We cannot think that every politician is perfect. We cannot, no human is perfect.
No, but you have to have, this is the part that you have to pay attention to is people will play the games. Politicians do it the best out of anybody. And when it comes to these scenarios, you have to treat them all equally. If you're going to demand answers from the president, you have to demand answers from any elected official.
Why did you support this?
What was February 24th, 2021?
Well, again, yes, we were much more enlightened, but at the time, Republican, Democrat, they were all trying to say that everybody has to get vaccinated. If he was somebody listening to, and he's from Louisiana, did he ever say anything about mandates or anything like that? The first 2 things he said, get kids back to school. Absolutely. What was the other thing?
Threats of school closures, reimpose mask mandates, migrants flooding into the country assisted by administration. I'm scrolling through his 2020 and 2021 tweets.
I don't mind. I hate the vaccine thing, obviously, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Now, if that was something said in middle of 2022, and somebody said earlier in the comments, like how he's gone hard against the FBI, Matt Ray, he's somebody that was standing up to the fact that he believes something in that the election was wrong. I'm just saying that you have to take the win. And again, if he was running for president right now, I would, and I know he's third in position, I would like to have answers currently of where he stands. But again, across the board, minus Jim Jordan, I think that this is a pretty decent second pick for somebody that had no idea who he was 7 hours ago.
I like Jim Jordan. I like Jim Jordan a lot. I was kind of hoping he was going to get it.
Yeah. He's too
Jim Jordan should have got it. Yeah. The government, none of the status quo government wants somebody like Jim Jordan to be in any place of power. Because he has no problem calling you out right there with the open mic.
Somebody was calling Mike Johnson MAGA Mike. So, Getz was. So you know what?
Yeah, they all are. So many people I see were pushing that Mike Johnson is all MAGA because he was.
You're what?
Huh?
You're what?
What'd you say, bro?
Mike Johnson.
You're Johnson? What about
is MAGA?
Your Johnson is MAGA?
No. But when it comes to this whole situation, the whole thing
Your
that
Johnson is
people
MAGA?
doing, yes.
Show us, bro.
But when it comes to Mike Johnson, not Mike Johnson, this whole scenario that everybody on the right is saying that he's this perfect person. But where were you saying that 2 weeks ago?
I didn't know who he was.
You're right. Most of the people that are out here saying that he's this Lord and Savior had no idea who he was.
I didn't say he was Lord and Savior.
I didn't say you did.
Stop putting your Johnson in my mouth. I'm just saying that he is a really. I'm surprised. Didn't see it coming, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Is all I'm gonna say.
Wait, was it just one vote? Just one vote, and he got it. Because I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got 220. He only needed 215 because some people were sitting out. I think they had diarrhea, bad clams. I don't know, but no, he needed 215 and he got 220. He got more than he needed from the. It's like
weird.
Where was the? Whatever.
Weird. Yeah, I know. It's just and then I don't want to flip the subject, but the propaganda, man, the propaganda is so maddening. Whether it be political propaganda, well, language, like you just said, we were talking about RFK. And language, everything is language and everything is politicized and everything is trying to accommodate every single type of emotion we have in this country. I just say, you know what, as a republic, just make some really good laws to prevent people from being shitty. And I'm good, man. People can be whatever they want to be. Just go do your thing and leave me alone.
Yeah.
No? Not a single one of us regrets not taking it.
That's what I'm rocking right there. Speaking, before we get to our last topic, the book is ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It is for pre-sale only. But here's the deal, and I don't have it up there, but if you go to Barnes and Noble specifically, not Amazon, I'll do an Amazon ebook to try to push a bestseller. But if you go, this is a book about failure, overcoming failure. It took me 3 years to write because I got really lazy and then I got back to it. I think it's a very good book. Honestly, I actually do. I'm pretty critical, but I think it's a pretty good book. It's The Art of Doubling Down. Look for it on Barnes and Noble. And if you buy it and then send me another $10 on my Venmo, which is just Be the Change USA, I will send you a signed copy now because the book doesn't come out until April. So you're going to have to listen to my words. Listen to my words. It's doubledownstrategy@gmail.com. Send me those receipts. And then the Venmo or the Cash App is Be the Change USA. That's it. That's it.
That's a lot to remember right there, bro. I was trying to remember all that.
Well, people can rewind. I'll put, you know what? I can put it in.
Well, go on and do the pre-order and then send Russo the order of your receipt. And then just after that, everything will be handled.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, send it to me and then I'll just be like, all right, yeah, we'll figure it out. So Double Down Strategy.
Congratulations, brother, because writing a book is not easy. I started a book 8 years ago and I still haven't finished it. Because, and I think that my story is still in motion. You know what I mean?
Finish it.
I'm going to.
Oh, you're saying it's not done yet. Well, that's why you have 2 books.
That's a really good point too.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I mean, I made the mistake. I had an actual publisher that was like, yeah, we'll do the book. Like, I mean, I didn't have to pay, like nothing, wasn't a pay to play. It was a real publisher. It was hybrid-ish, but not really hybrid. Like it wasn't, I mean, it's, they're trying to put it in bookstores and all that stuff. So
Audrey says,
all I had to do was finish it. What's that?
Audrey says, now that we have a speaker, we can get back to UFOs.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny, Audrey.
Yeah, we have a UFO show coming up. In fact, I might have Audrey call in for that one because she actually has a society called the Blue Alien Society.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
It is.
Curious. Mike Johnson also called Mayorkas out too. Somebody said, Lori. All right. So the one thing we didn't finish, by the way, is do you guys clean, going back to the very beginning of the episode, then I'll talk about Sean King or anything else you want to talk about, but, the white guy, Sean King. So do you clean your house before the cleaning lady gets there?
No, Lisa used to talk about the shit that she never understood the science on how some of her clients got shit in certain areas on their toilet. Yeah.
I didn't clean the toilet, but I clean, you have to declutter. You got to get stuff out of the way so that it can be cleaned.
Yeah, because you're having deep clean. So you're doing that's full wipe downs with real chemicals. All that shit has to be out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I didn't realize how many people had their houses clean.
Oh yeah. Casey, what about you?
We never paid anybody to come and clean our house.
You just have the kids do it like slave labor.
Oh, that's why you have kids.
Dude, I totally would though. I would. I would contribute to our society and contributing funds into our economic flow by hiring somebody who is trying to make a living. Absolutely, I would. I would pay somebody to cut my grass. No, I like cut my grass.
I love mowing my lawn. I struggle.
Yep. Well, you don't like it?
Have somebody else doing it.
What?
No, he struggles having somebody else do it. Do you want to know a little fun fact about me?
Yes.
I grew up with never having a house. It was always condos. Well, it was apartments and it was townhomes. I've never mowed a lawn ever.
What?
Ever.
There's a major serenity to that. I like growing flowers too. That's what I do. I grow flowers, bro.
I would love to mow a lawn. Kelly's lawn is too big to mow because we've got 10 acres with the horses, and she doesn't have a riding mower, Casey. Her ex-husband took it in the divorce. So which is weird because she bought it and I don't, whatever. I would have fought a little harder for that one, but needless to say, yeah, we don't have a lawnmower for me to.
You have horses. You don't need a lawnmower.
Not on the whole property, Casey. You've got pastures with the horses, but there's still about 1.5 acres to mow, 2 acres to mow. You can't do that with a push mower.
That's okay. Just get your neighbor's cow to come over and eat it.
That's it. Did you get that shit resolved?
Yeah, it's gone now. And they were very nice. I keep forgetting to thank them. They gave us an $800 gift card. I had to ask a couple times. But
it's gone. Like gone? Like seeing Jesus gone?
I don't know what happened after Moo Einstein. What did I call him? Cow Einstein. After Cow Einstein, I don't know what happened to him. He did get taken on got taken on a ride out of the county. Is all I know.
He tasted fantastic.
I bet he did. I hope they just bred that son of a bitch. Because
have you ever driven by cows while you're going somewhere and you see a whole pasture full of cows and just kind of lick your lips and be like, I'm coming back for you?
No, that is something I don't think of. When I drive by the trucks that have them in the back, I start to contemplate whether or not I should keep eating meat.
It stinks, bro. And I seen one poop one time right outside the side of the truck, bro. It squirted.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Terribly.
Is bad.
Like, where's all the grass at?
It's an interesting thought.
So when I was in Georgia, Don Newen literally went down and he was trying to prove to everybody that it's safe to eat horse shit. Okay. I'm like, dude, I don't need you to prove that to me. I don't need that evidence, right? I'll take your word for it. He grabbed a chunk and put it right in his mouth. Chewed it like a chew.
Grass or poop?
Well, it was poop, but it was grass, right? Because it was all grass. You see all the grass in their poop. I'm like, doesn't it digest?
Yeah.
It's all a couple hairs in there, and it was just confusing. I didn't know what to do at the moment, you know?
What are you about to say, Casey? Because your mute's off, so I know you're going to say something.
I don't remember anymore because no.
You know what's weird is Kelly doesn't. So she will not pick up dog shit. She hates anything with dog poop.
All day, bro. All day.
She won't touch it. She thinks it's the most disgusting. Any kind of bodily fluid, anything. She doesn't even like veins on. Like she thinks veins are gross. Cow shit, she will walk through. She has no problem with. She doesn't care. She's like, did I say cow shit or horse shit? Horse shit, horse shit. She'll just walk right through. No issue with it whatsoever. She's like, it's just grass. And I'm like,
is there a difference in the science?
I don't know. Well, she's like, horses don't eat other stuff like dogs do and we do, and it's more pure. And I'm like, there's nothing pure about that.
I can see this distinction though, bro, because I wasn't as grossed out from horse poop, but if I saw a piece of human poop right next to it, I'll probably pass out, you know?
I mean, it's different. It's still poop though. It's still gross.
It goes through the same process in the body.
Well, yes, but there's not, we mix a whole bunch. Like the horses have water and grass and the occasional, they eat grain. It's still,
they have a mixture of things.
It's gross.
Did you guys know
it is gross
in ancient Rome that there was somebody who had to go to work every day and their job was to literally have a stick with a rag on it and wipe people's asses when they were done shitting?
Why is it that dogs love horse shit?
Why is it that dogs love shit?
They don't, not even the dogs that don't eat dog shit, don't eat they will. And they won't eat cow shit. It is a delicate, horse shit is a delicacy to canines.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead. Wait, no.
That noise is a perfect segue to talk about Sean King. You guys know who Sean King is, right?
It is a perfect segue.
Yeah, it's like perfect. It's brown, but it's really not. So,
right?
Anyways.
What's going on with him?
So Sean King is, first off, he's been very big on backing the Palestinians because it's like he's still ultra BLM and he's like free Palestine, yada yada yada. So then he did so you know Rocky, you know that he's white, right, Rocky?
100%. There's that lady too who got in trouble for that.
Yeah. So yeah, but he didn't get in trouble. Apparently the black people are still like, yeah, represent. Yeah. No, you're white. So both parents, white, birth certificate, white, everything white. So anyways, he like that is the ultimate griftity griff. But anywho, he said on his social media that the two Jewish women, the mother and daughter that were released by Hamas, he helped in the back areas, helped broker the deal with the Qatari government that got them released. He said he's so happy, he's proud that he got, helped them out, blah, blah, blah. And he's been in contact with the family. He provided receipts. He was in contact with somebody related to these people, not the direct family. The family has now made a statement saying, and he also goes, they were big supporters of mine. So whoever was the cousin of the friend of the friend of the cousin, the friend of the friend, the cousin of the cousin, that actually knew who he was, and probably because it's Jewish, so it might be a BLM supporting family. Anyways, this family has made a statement going, we didn't know who Sean King was until this post started getting shared around the internet.
He's just an idiot. I am not surprised. It is a complete joke, and of course he would lie about it, but no one's going to do anything about it.
It's just like this world is full of people with fake faces, man. They're always trying to put this I'm a hero bullshit like what he did. It's just like, man, when I see people that try to take advantage of a tragedy, and try to use that for their own publicity, little shit. I don't forget that stuff, man. It burns me. It burns me. But there's people out there that fall for it, and they fall. It's just like, you guys ever just get sick of humans?
Big time. And I'm going to end with this. My mom went to go get tires today.
I literally
was like, I want to talk about this. She went and go get tires and went to Discount Tire. And typically Discount Tire pretty good. Anywho, she's got a BMW. It's a used BMW, part of a whole long story situation in my life, other stuff. So anywho, she has the BMW 2017, and they were trying to overcharge her for tires to the point where and I'm glad she did call me, because I'm sometimes get aggravated, but she's like, yeah, they're looking at, instead of just doing the front two, because the back two won't be good in the winter. I'm like, the back two are brand new. They're expensive tires. And they were trying to charge her like $1,400. And I'm like, just because you have a BMW, you can still get mediocre tires. In all reality, I just Googled online, people taking advantage of people. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck.
And
That's
we
how
should
I'm in.
We should do a weekly segment, a 15-minute segment, one time a week, where we find somebody who pulled some stupid, sneaky shit, and let's make them famous.
We'll call it the You Suck section.
Yeah, the You Suck section. We'll even have intro music.
It'll sound a little something like you suck.
Just like that.
Oh, no, that's blow. No, that's suck. No, that's whatever.
That was nothing on the upper region.
No, it wasn't. Look at you trying to get out of the closet. Go ahead and wrap it.
Man, hey, folks, we love you. It's Wednesday night. Man, we got a bunch of stuff going on. We got a lot going on this weekend, but Celebrity Softball Game, November 4th, celebritysoftballgame.org. Get on over there. You're going to see myself, Russo, Casey. You're not going to make it, are you? Are you going to come down for this one?
I won't make this one.
Dude, we should have, maybe in the spring, we'll have a party. We'll have like a listeners and us. We'll pick a location. We'll just all go to a bar somewhere and hang out.
We're literally already planning it. That'll be part of the whole launch. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. All right.
We're on the same page, man. This is the stuff that we do. Let me turn that up. My sound is a little weird, folks. You are listening to the Rocky
So is your pace.
Experience right here. That actually hurt. Hey, folks, catch us Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. On behalf of Brother Casey, on behalf of Brother Antonio Russo, I am the emotional meatball. We'll see you next Monday. Love you guys. And rule number 1, don't take shit from nobody. Love you.
Where's our cover photo so I can make a joke about you coming out of the closet?
I was not wearing any pants the whole show.
God, you've been so distracted by all the talk of the closet that you couldn't even figure out where the screen was. Bet you know where the male G spot is, though.
Right there, baby.